What's up, guys? Welcome back to Newswave. Well, today is Cyber Monday, and there's actually quite a bit of stuff on sale currently, and I figured we'd go over all the different gaming stuff that you can still look into right now. Also, we are going to be talking about Silent Hill, as there was a very odd statement that was made by Bloober team, and we're also going to be taking a look at Sony, who's made yet another second-party deal with a big game that, well, was actually announced for Xbox originally. Guys, if you enjoy these videos, make sure to hit that like button, helps out a ton. And if new here to the Spawnwave channel, make sure you subscribe down below. And we're gonna start today with Sega and a new announcement for Virtua Fighter, but this one was a bit weird because it wasn't exactly what I expected when I hear, okay, we're getting a new Virtua Fighter or an updated Virtua Fighter game. This one's not for home consoles or PC, no. It's for the arcade. We can see this posted up over on VGC, where they say Virtua Fighter 3 TB Online builds on Virtua Fighter 3 TB, which was released in 1997 as an upgraded version of Virtua Fighter 3. Online will keep the balance of the original game, but, as its name suggests, add online battles and rankings. Now, Sega has also opened up a website. You can track your results and rankings against other players, and this is, again, this is good for people who frequent the arcade, maybe in Japan, for example, where it's still, fairly popular. I know everything is going on with the pandemic. Well, obviously that made it difficult to go out to the arcades, but it seems like they are picking back up now. And I feel like a lot of people are hoping that a new Virtua Fighter announcement would be to follow up Virtua Fighter 5, since it's been more than a decade since that game. But no, unfortunately, not the case. Maybe they look around and go, hey, we could move this over to consoles and just release it there digitally. But as of now, you'll want to head out to the arcade to experience the new Virtua Fighter 3 TB Online. Also, we do have something you're going to want to keep an eye on this week when it comes to Level 5 and some of their big releases coming up. And that has to do with them having this live stream, which you can see this, that does mention Professor Layton in the New World of Steam, so that will be there, and I assume they're gonna give us a release date on it, or just more gameplay. It seems interesting because some games like Deca Police are apparently still slated for 2023, but it's the end of November, and unless it's coming out in the next 30 days, I figure that's probably first half of 2024, and this will be streaming 9 p.m. Japan Standard Time on Wednesday, the 29th, which, for example, in Eastern Standard Time, that would be in the morning, I believe, something like 6 or 7 a.m. So essentially, on Wednesday, you should see news break around some of Level 5's games, and when we can expect them to come out with full release dates. And Deca Police, I figure, is the next one up, but who knows? We'll have to keep an eye on Professor Layton to see maybe Level 5 will have a pretty good first half of 2024 set up. Oh, and Division fans, it does appear that the free-to-play Division game Heartlands is set up for release here pretty soon. As we can see, this posted up was noticed by Kurakasis, who says the Division Heartland has received a rating in Taiwan on November 14th. They're kind of estimating 2 to 2.5 months before planned launch or open beta, but in this case, I do think Heartland would be shaping up for an early 2024 release, and we know Ubisoft is going pretty big with the Division. We know they have a mobile game in the series. They, of course, have this free-to-play Heartland, and they also have the next big Division 3 coming up, although that's probably still years off, so good to see, at least for Division fans, there will be another game coming up here pretty soon. The fact that it's already rated, I feel like maybe a February or March release at the latest. And hey, it's free to play, so it's like, well, maybe you'll check it out either way. I don't know if I would necessarily be able to stick with a live service Division when I'm also looking forward to, say, Division 3, but something, I guess, to tide me over in the meantime. And guys, with some of the quick news out of the way, let's get into the bigger stuff. Let's start right away with Cyber Monday. That is obviously going on right now since it's Monday. And I was a little surprised as I was looking down the sales. I feel like Cyber Monday this year is just better than Black Friday, although you could argue Black Friday started like 2 weeks ago, but Cyber Monday seems to have some pretty good discounts, specifically on TVs. That's like the big sector right now, and that could have to do with people feeling less inclined to upgrade their TVs if they already have a 4K TV and maybe they just legitimately watch streaming, or maybe they just watch cable TV. Not a lot of reasons to make the move up to 4K or 120 or hertz or OLED or anything there, but Either way, we are seeing discounts of up to 50% on some pretty good TVs, so if you are thinking about upgrading, this probably is the time. And in fact, I'll start you off with a big one here that seems to be the most popular, and that's a 75-inch Sony Bravia XR75X90K. It is a 4K set, 120 hertz. There's two 2.1 HDMI inputs, and it's going currently for $900, which is a pretty substantial markdown. I think it's like $600 or so off, this one being at Walmart. So it would be a good one for, say, gaming or just watching different streaming services and what have you there. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, probably the 55-inch TCL QLED 4K. That one's $300 at Best Buy. That might be the next one, or the next one up if you're looking for more of like that budget-minded TV that still has certain features when it comes to gaming. TCL is generally pretty good when it comes to the responsiveness of the set for playing different games on it. Now, moving over to games, we have Final Fantasy 16, that's $35 at Walmart. Jedi Survivor, that one's $30 at Walmart. Resident Evil 4, also at $30 for Walmart. Moving over to Best Buy, we have God of War Ragnarok, that one at $35. And Sony has been pushing hard to try to keep their games in and around their launch prices online or at different retailers. So it's, I mean, $35 from $70, that's technically half off there. Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope at Best Buy is $15. This is definitely the same situation we saw with Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, where it just got incredibly cheap. It's hard not to recommend Sparks of Hope at $15, though. Metal Gear Solid, the V1 Collection, that one at $40 on Amazon. Sonic Superstars, $35 on Amazon. Much better price, I'd say, to recommend that game. Yes, it is shorter, but it's also Sonic, and it's a lot of fun. So $35 seems to be, I think, a good price. Otherwise, Sonic Origins Plus, that one coming in at $20 on Amazon. I did notice Arcade 1UP has actually several of their cabinets on sale. For example, the X-Men cabinet that is like the riser, the stool to kind of like have the entire theme going. That's $450. And then we also have the Arcade 1UP Mortal Kombat head-to-head. That's sort of the table that you can sit at. That one at $290. And then we also have the Arcade 1UP Mortal Kombat 2-player countercade. So you can sort of put that on like on a countertop, maybe at a bar or something in the basement. That one's actually a pretty good price there at just over $140. All of that on Amazon. I did pick out a computer part here, and I was looking, and the big one, I think, right now in terms of the amount of money put out for what you get back, the Ryzen 9 5900X at $290 on Amazon. That's half off. That's an impressive CPU at that price point. Otherwise, I was looking at video cards, and it's hilarious to look at since NVIDIA pushed the pricing on these cards up so much. They go, oh yeah, it's $80 off. So that means that a nice 4080 is still $1,100. And it's like, can I really recommend that? Not really, but if you're looking for storage, I always say this is the best time to look around. For example, a Western Digital Black SN850 1 terabyte, which would work fine in your PS5, is coming in at $60 through Walmart. But definitely a lot of stuff on sale today. So if there's anything out there that catches your eye, definitely leave it below in the comments, some suggestions, whether it's for games, hardware, systems, controllers, all of that, because it's a little surprising. Cyber Monday, to me, in terms of the deals, definitely overtaking Black Friday this year. Next up, let's talk about Ubisoft and an apparent error on their side when it comes to in-game advertisements as just pop-ups when you're in the middle of playing something like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which was shared on Twitter. You can see this posted up. This from Fab, showcasing their time in Assassin's Creed, running around and going to the map, and then, oh, look, 20% off Assassin's Creed Mirage. This, of course, was a Black Friday ad that Ubisoft was running this weekend. And, well, it's not hard for me to believe that Ubisoft would attempt something like this. But according to a statement to Eurogamer from Ubisoft, they said, "We have been made aware that some players encountered pop-up ads while playing certain Assassin's Creed titles yesterday. This was the result of a technical error that we addressed as soon as we learned of the issue." Okay, so a technical error. That's exactly what I would say if I got caught just trying something like that out. Like, hey, let's see if we could put these ads in a game and if anyone would make a big deal about it, right? Would people post online and be like, what's this advertisement I'm getting? Or could we get a ton of impressions for another Assassin's Creed. They figure for playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, for example, maybe you would be interested in Assassin's Creed Mirage. It's that 20% that'll just push you over the edge to buy it, especially if there's like a buy link in the ad. And I wouldn't put it past Ubisoft to have actually attempted this. Hey, let's take a shot. Let's just see. And if it works, we'll just roll with it a bit more going forward. Just some field research here for this. And if people do make a big deal, as technical error. I mean, that's just what they're saying now, but I don't know. That, to me, just seems like them experimenting and seeing how in-game advertisement like that would go, because maybe there is a future where you don't even pay anything for the game, but you will have constant pop-up ads. For me, in my case, I'll just buy the game. I'm good. I don't need ads popping up every 5 minutes or so when I'm trying to play a big open world game like Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Next up, let's talk about Stellar Blade, which is a game that I feel like people have kind of forgotten about, and I can't necessarily blame them since it's been 14 months or so since the last update we had on it during a State of Play. But with a recent press release that was put out, it looks like the studio behind the game has gotten a bit closer now to Sony, signing a deal for publishing the game, making them, in their own words, second party. We can see this posted up, though, the press release, this over on Game Chosun, and this was machine translated over from Korean to English, so we'll see how Google does here. But they say Shift Up announced on the 24th that it signed a PlayStation 5 distribution contract for Stellar Blade with Sony Interactive Entertainment, a manufacturer of the PlayStation brand products. Shift Up plans to collaborate with SIE to introduce the AAA masterpiece console game Stellar Blade on the PS5 console throughout the world, including Korea. Through this contract, Shift Up officially becomes the first Korean company to join Sony's second-party partner. Now, the interesting thing about this, when it was originally announced as Project Eve, it was a while ago, it was 3 or 4 years ago, they had the logos for Xbox as well as PlayStation, and it was in its early stages, obviously, because, I mean, the name's been updated, Stellar Blade, and now it's just the PlayStation logo. It's that State of Play. Now it's, signed a deal with Sony for publishing agreements, and this is definitely going to be focused on, I think, by Sony as one of their big releases for 2024. So I think right now, behind the scenes, Sony is realizing some of these live service games are being moved around. They have to figure stuff out with them when it comes to their release schedules, and that's probably affecting their own first-party stuff. So what do? You go out and you find third-party games you can align with your brand. You can, yes, give them money. It's given them the opportunity, I'm sure, to hold off on maybe releasing the game, spending more time developing it, maybe even leveraging some of Sony's resources. And I could see that being the case here, and maybe giving us a better overall product, because I think Stellar Blade, the game itself, looks very intriguing with the gameplay, kind of the fast-paced Devil May Cry style, almost Bayonetta in there. So I'm interested to see more about this game, and I kind of wonder if this is something being set up for the Game Awards, as that's in just a couple of weeks now, and that's one of the reasons they wanted to put this press release out. Otherwise, I'm expecting it in 2024, so if not at the Game Awards, maybe at the next big Sony State of Play or PlayStation experience to start setting up 2024. And in our last bit of news, let's talk about a very weird update from Bloober team regarding Silent Hill 2. And whenever I see these cards now that just get thrown on Twitter, I immediately think that it's bad news. I feel like we're all kind of trained now to think that when we first glance at these. And then, of course, we'll read through it and we'll figure out exactly what they're saying. But this one, even after reading it, I'm not really sure why this update was put out, but let's take a look. This, again, posted up over on Bloober Team's Twitter account. And the top line is just them saying we're working on it. That's kind of it. Hey, we're working to ensure the Silent Hill remake attains the highest quality. Okay? On behalf of our development team, we would like to clarify that the production is progressing smoothly and in accordance with our schedule. We understand that many people around the world are eagerly anticipating news about the game, and we appreciate your dedication. However, we kindly ask for a bit more patience once Konami, which is bolded, by the way, as the game's publisher, shares more information. We are confident that the wait will be worthwhile. Thank you for your understanding and support. Okay. Again, I'm not really sure why this update is out here. It is interesting, though. Konami, bolded, named at the bottom there. I'm sure Bloober team gets bugged constantly, poked and prodded. What's going on with Silent Hill 2? Because even I'm kind of thinking that, okay, where did this game go exactly? It's been more than a year since we heard about this remake, and there was a lot of excitement around it, but also concern that Bloober Team's gonna take on what is a storied franchise. It's not one that's been around in the best light recently, but one that I think could really make a comeback with the right release, the high quality release, right? So people are like, oh, okay, Bloober Team gonna take a shot at a game that people hold in high regard with Silent Hill 2. But it's kind of been missing for a while, and I don't think it's gonna be at the Game Awards. Maybe that's why they decided to put this out there, just to get ahead of it, since, do you really think Jeff is running to Konami after what happened with Kojima? Like, is his best friend just about? It's like, oh yeah, come on, you guys can show off all these different games here. No, I don't think so. I think Konami, what they'll do is when they're ready to talk about it, which is probably early 2024, we'll put out a trailer, maybe like a Konami Direct, and then they can set things up for 2024, because I kind of thought we might see Silent Hill 2 get a 2023 release date, especially make it out for the holidays or maybe around Halloween. That made a lot of sense, but I guess not. It's just taking longer than we were thinking. So in that case, look towards 2024 for Silent Hill 2, and they just wanted to let us know that it's all going smoothly and that Konami in bold text will let us know when it's ready. And before we go to the comment of the day, we'll take a look at Game of the Year Madness Day 9 with a pretty big matchup, as it was Lies of P versus Diablo 4. Well, we can see here, Lies of P absolutely running over Diablo 4. My write-in so far, which was Lies of P for the wildcard, has been doing pretty well. It took out Jedi Survivor. It's taking out Diablo 4. The road for Lies of P has not been an easy one, to say the least, and some of these matchups are getting pretty good right now. I know some matchups show up and people go, well, we kind of know what's going to happen here, but some of these matchups now are looking pretty good, so definitely some other pretty good ones coming up here this week, and make sure you check out the poll that's going up later on today. And we'll finish up with the comment of the day, as you're seeing here. This is from Elena. It says, don't wear that shirt. People will not understand it's a video game. Get Earthbound instead. Yeah, I thought about this after I saw the comment. I said, it has been so long since there's been Mother 3, say, on the Game Boy Advance, or just Earthbound in general. The newer generation's gonna have no idea what the character is for Ness or Lucas, nothing like that. Smash is the only thing keeping that series relevant at all, and I would love to see Nintendo do something else with it, whether it is a remake, or they take Mother 3 and localize it, or maybe they do a remake of that. Arte Piazza did a great job with Super Mario RPG. I would really like to see them take a shot at Earthbound or Mother 3 or something in that franchise, because I think they have the correct art style down after what I saw with Super Mario RPG, but that might be a pipe dream, but I guess never say never. And ladies and gentlemen, that's gonna do it here for Newswave. If you enjoyed this video, guys, hit that like button. If not, hit the dislike. Leave comments down below about everything we talked about here today. Where's all the Cyber Monday deals? Of course, let me know what you're picking up down below in the comments, and leave some suggestions if you spot any really good deals. And then also, what about Sony making that second-party deal there for Stellar Blade? And what we're seeing right now with Bloober Team, is there some frustration behind the scenes being asked so much for Silent Hill 2 but not being able to say anything, so they had to make sure we knew it was Konami in bold text. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.